Hey everybody. Okay, in a few months, it's going to be the 60 years of this album right here by, of course, the Fab Four, Rubber Soul. Of course, I got the UK and the US albums, and what I'm going to do is rank each of the album tracks from the North American and the European album, and then basically compare to see which one is actually better in my opinion. Now, of course, it's basically the same, as you can tell, the same cover. Maybe this one's stretched out a little bit more. The European version, of course, the US is, of course, cropped, however, and I do like the brown sepia tone kind of color to it, Of course, got the same back cover, of course, And I actually have both of these on vinyl. So what I'm going to do is actually go through each of these. I'm going to start with the European one first, and what I did was actually rank the tracks from least to greatest. And I'll do the same for the North American album, and then basically see which one that I prefer the most. So we'll start off with the Rubber Soul. Of course, the European one. I think this came out like maybe a day or whatever before, and I actually like the you got the booklet here. This is from, of course, that big that big old box set, which has the big black box set with all the all the Beatles, all the 13 Beatles albums, So anyways, so let me go ahead and do that first. We'll start with the European album first. So there is actually a total of 14 tracks, I believe, for each. If not, let's see. Well, actually, there's 12. How the North American albums, they only put like 12 or 13 on the Capitol albums. Yeah, so let's do let's start it off with the one kind of everybody knows, So the first one that I rank low is What Goes On, Yeah, it's not one of my favorites, It's Ringo doing the country kind of like Act Naturally. But again, it's not one of my favorites, of course. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys will maybe agree on my opinion there. And then the next one that I have here is Run for Your Life. Yeah, that's not one of my favorites, of course, I think some people like it, but it's just definitely not. It seems a little childish, a little bit in a way. Okay, then after that is one that I think most people will kind of raise their eyebrows at a little bit as to why I have this low. And that is Girl. I know, right? I do gotta say it's definitely a well recorded Beatles song for sure. But you know what I mean? It's not like, and I'm pretty sure most people will definitely not think that this is like a song that everyone's going to listen to separately or whatever. I mean, I do like to listen to it on the album rather than listening to it separately, But yeah, again, it's not one of my favorites on Rubber Soul. And then the next one is You Won't See Me. Now, I do like the later version that was done by Anne Murray. This one I kind of like. I like the tambourine. And again, I see a lot of people rank this kind of low. And for what I have it here, it's actually kind of placed kind of still low, but still kind of a little bit on the mid-tier level, And then the next one is I'm Looking Through You. Now, I do like that song, but it's, again, not one of my favorites, but I do like the crazy, of course, the crazy organ work done by Ringo Starr. That was actually played by him, actually. And I really like the song, it definitely has, and you definitely see, too, of Paul's feelings toward Jane Asher, So it's cool, it's actually about her. And also You Won't See Me was about her, too. Then we get the next one, which is, again, kind of low, I know some people put it a little bit high, and that is Wait. Now I do like it. It's cool actually, and it kind of has a little bit of that Help sound, because I think this was actually, I think it was either this one or The Word that they were going to put on Help, but apparently they didn't have the time to do it actually. Yeah, and I do like the choruses as well, and the drumming work. It almost has a little bit of a suspense sound with a tambourine, and the pedal, that guitar pedal kind of sound, the wah wah wah, kind of like on Think for Yourself. And in fact, that's actually my next one on my ranking here is Think for Yourself. Now I do really, really, and of course this is George Harrison, which I think definitely he boosted up his quality work, or his quality of songwriting for sure. I mean, think about it. I mean, he had Leave My, what was it? Not Leave My Kitten Alone, right? Or was it? Well, anyways, I think Don't Bother Me. Some of those early songs were, but this one's definitely like right ahead. Maybe even better than I Need You a little bit, Yeah, Think for Yourself, because I'm in love with you. Okay, then after that one is I'm actually going to go with Drive My Car. I know some people, I've actually seen, or at least see some people on YouTube actually kind of not like it, because it's not, at least it's where it's placed in Rubber Soul. However, some people, and even some people think it's not really the greatest Beatles song. But what the hell, man, I love this song. And I remember hearing this like on a lot of those oldie stations when I was like really, really young, and they would play it during, those traffic kind of, when they do like on highway road so-and-so, there's an accident. So they'll do the beep, 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 yeah, refrain thing, or the chorus thing, and they would kind of pipe it in during the part there where they're talking about, the accidents and stuff, Yeah, but I love that song. Who doesn't like Drive My Car? And then that cowbell too, really great. And then after that, which is a really, really great song, and I know I have this kind of bit low here, and that is Michelle. This was actually an early Paul song that he wrote. Well, Paul McCartney wrote it in some sort of party or whatever in '63 or whatever it was. It was actually one of his earliest compositions, actually. And it's actually one of the first pop songs to actually have some French translations, so which is kind of cool. Paul speaks in French, if you will, Michelle, my belle, that thing. Yeah, and I felt like there was a group, right, that did, Ma Belle Me, T-Set, right? There was a group called T-Set, and they did that, Ma Belle Me. That was during the whole craze of people, doing French songs, however, Well, okay. Then we get, these are actually my last 3 songs here. And then my next one here is actually going to be Nowhere Man. I know, that's weird. I know that I have that kind of, oh, excuse me, I have 4. I have basically 4 more songs here left. Yeah, Nowhere Man. Yeah, I do like that song, but again, I don't know why I have this kind of low, or not low, but at least why it's not a number 2 or number 1, however, And again, I love the harmonies, and I love the lyrical part of this song, but it's just kind of a song I get a little bit tired of a little bit, So maybe that's why. Okay, and then after that is the other George Harrison song, If I Needed Someone. Now this is another great George Harrison song, and I kind of like a little bit than Think for Yourself. But Think for Yourself is still a really, really great song. yeah, then we get basically my last two here. So number two, I actually have Norwegian Wood at number two. And number one is In My Life. And I love that song. So there you go. So now let's do the North American album. Now, I actually like the different, it's funny with the difference of the two albums. Because you got more of the poppy, kind of a little bit more of the help stuff on Rubber Soul, on the UK Rubber Soul. And on the US version, you get more of the folky theme going for the Capitol album. So basically, it's kind of almost the same as what I have on the. Well, maybe not. Well, the one that I have ranked below here is Run for Your Life, basically. That's definitely not a favorite of mine. And then after that is It's Only Love, which was actually from the Help UK album. And that was actually going to be featured in the movie Help, actually. I actually like the beginning part there. John's kind of first, in the first verse of the song, however. But after that, it just, I think the guitars are a bit kind of a little too corny to me. I don't know. And this was actually a Lennon song that he didn't even care for, actually. And then after that is Still Girl. And then after that is The Word. I know that's kind of a bit low. Looking Through You comes next after that. Then we get Wait. And then we also have You Won't See Me, believe it or not, over Wait. I know that may seem a little odd there. But I guess the way with the North American album, it's actually, and then after that is let's see. I don't know if I said The Word. I think The Word, right? I don't know if I already had said that already. But anyways, if it's not in there, I think The Word is next. Then I have I've Just Seen a Face, which is actually the opening track on the album. Then we get Michelle, Norwegian Wood, and In My Life. So basically In My Life, for the two versions here, are basically my same number one. Although the lowest here was What Goes On, the lowest here is Run for Your Life. And I think really, I really like the differences of these albums, Although I feel like What Goes On is not really like, if there's like one particular song that's not really fitting for the album, it's definitely What Goes On for the UK album. And for the North American album, I rather them not having It's Only Love. So, and you know what, folks? I actually really respect both of these versions. But I kind of prefer the North American a little bit. To me, however, because it has I've Just Seen a Face. But of course, you got Drive My Car, a great opening, of course, on this one as well. So yeah, there you go. My two number ones, or at least my favorite on Rubber Soul, is In My Life. Alrighty, so that was fun. Hope you guys enjoy that one. Can't believe Rubber Soul 60 years. I mean, it's already 60 years now with Help. But man, Rubber Soul, can't believe it's 60 years. I know I wasn't around then, but wow, great stuff. Okay, folks, take care. Bye-bye.